Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Radical Geek Coffee Talk every Sunday night. So, goodness, look at everybody who's here. Oh, Visual Keto first and early. Awesome. And Roz is here, also early. You early birds are so awesome. It's great because it helps foster our community. On Hungry Heath, hey, maybe a little bit late due to enjoying some IP chili con carne. I have questions about that. In a little while, though, we'll get to it. Our awesome moderators, Attila and Air Fry and Auntie. Oh, and said, not gonna lie, that she saw the thumbnail and thought there were tiny lizards in a bowl. Yeah, it's just the up close of our tea tonight. So let's see, Carrie's here. And let's see, lots of hellos back and forth. Mike Sandy's here. Hey, Mike. I also have questions for you, but that'll be outside the live stream. Sharon's here. Jackie's here. Oh, let's see. Rickwin is here. Nice to see you guys again. And Gigi's here. Good to see you again. Let's see. Exchange Student 2 has joined us, as has Lisa tonight. And OP, welcome back. Welcome back. And Jennifer's here. So, what a great evening. It's good to see so many of you here. So, I see that Carrie is talking about our tea tonight, which is it does have a lot of caffeine, as Carrie's pointing out, but it has also antioxidants. This is a Chinese tea. It is called a pu'er. It comes wrapped usually in plastic and then in paper. The plastic is horrible to get off, so I just left the paper. We've talked about pu'er before. Oh, hey, Simply Bestie. Good to see you tonight. We've talked about pu'er before. So it is a fermented tea, and these tea balls, let me get it out of the paper, also difficult. We'll deal with that later. But it comes, and I'll come around and show you guys, it's in a little mandarin, a dried mandarin orange peel. So let me run around there. So I can't get back there to see that I'm getting it on the camera. Let me dig around here for a second. Oops, sorry for the jiggle. I'm too short today. So you can see here's the tea ball, and it's stuffed. The fermented tea is right in there. The little cap comes off because it's just a cut, and then let me see if I can, and then the tea is just crammed in there. All right. So come back around. I'm sure there are questions about whether it's keto or not, but there's no actual orange in here. So it's just the orange peel. So we use zest and things in recipes. I don't worry about it too much. Hey, Tutu Q Cat, good to see you again tonight. So, but yeah, so the little cap, it just comes right off, and you set that outside. The pu'er, because it's fermented, so it also helps promote your gut health, all of those things and stuff like that. So when we do that, the other thing is it needs special equipment, and this is a tea needle. So let me undo it. So it has a sharp pointy end. It has a cap here to help keep it contained. So I'll just swatch it around. You can't take this on the airplane, that's for sure. But it basically is kind of like an ice pick, a little portable travel ice pick. And preferably without throwing the tea around, you will jab some holes with your ice pick into it. And I see Brenda has joined us. Hello, Brenda, and is asking if the peel flavors the tea. The answer to that is absolutely it does. Quite a lot, but more than the flavor, it also gives to the fragrance. And the reason you have to stab this, you want to do it like once on each side, is because that's what lets the water flow in and gives the leaves a little bit of room to expand. And sometimes it'll crack, and that's okay. Some people actually crack it a little bit inside the in the wrapper. So let's see. I love the way it smells. And Air Fry Correct. You know what? I would worry about you with this ice pick thing jabbing into it. You would do the method where you grab it and you just give it a good crunch with your hands before you use the tea. So, I don't know if, I know not everybody was here when we talked about pu'er tea, but it's fermented, can taste a little funky. So some people like pu'er, some people do not. Some say it's an acquired taste. I love it. So we're gonna use this tea ball. I have tonight my little Gaiwan teapot. Jackie says she's too lazy for this tea. You know what? Remember, we're stepping through it a whole bunch here and to talk about it on the live stream, so you might not be. It's not as much as it seems like. But so these Gaiwan teapots are little travel teapots. They usually come in a little kit. I actually have the little kit, but I'm right here with the sink, so I don't need the kit. It comes with a little tray, so you can have your tea on there like a little ceremony and do your first discard into the bamboo and catch it in the tray. But it has this little bowl. It comes with a handle because it travels, it all breaks down. And so you just scoot that. And now I'll show you why. Is because your filter, it has some little divots in it and it sits right down into the pot so you can tilt it to pour and you'll use it right in there. So we'll go ahead and we'll put our tea ball right in there. I will sweep off these loose little bits and toss them in there for the disposal. Let's see. We've got a few things here. Oh, Carrie's talking about his great keto chow that he made with bacon fat and that he ate egg yolks and a steak today, some ground meat, mackerel, and sardines. Goodness, that's a lot of food. So hopefully you are sated and feeling good. So, oh, and then he said he's going to hit it out of the park with the tea ball. Oh no, it is definitely a funny wordplay. Oh, it's because you're OMAD. I bet that is very filling though. That's a lot of heavy food. So, anyways, the other thing you use this tea needle for is we've talked about that with the pu'er. If you're buying a whole cake of pu'er, it comes in like in discs about this big, and it's compressed. And because it's been fermented, it's hard to break it apart. So you would use the tea needle to kind of like you would break a chunk of it off, just like you do with ice cubes when you go in at it, but not quite as much effort. So I'm going to do the first brew. You're going to do real quick just so you get everything wet. You got your water that's come to a boil, and we're just going to pour it over. And literally it's so fast, we're going to slap the lid right over it, and literally this first cast off, you only want it to go just like a quick flash, 10 seconds. I'm going to pour it into the cup and then we'll discard it. So, but literally that's it. And I'll hold this up so you can see just even that very first brew, which with a lot of teas is very, very pale. You can see that it came out with a, it's not like super, super dark, but it's definitely got a little color to it already. So that is, and it smells amazing. You get like that little bit of the tinge of the fermenty smell from the tea and that nice tea smell, but then also that mandarin orange really punches at you. So let's see. And as per usual, when you're doing good tea, you discard the first one because it is so, it's too bitter. So, and then Air Frying Auntie likes the tea brewer. I do too. I love creative little gadgets. So, oh hey, Crafty and Carnivorish has gotten here. Nice to see you tonight. I'm going to also be making some keto chow waffles tonight, and so to get that started before we do our next brew on there, I've got my 2 eggs in my mixing bowl here, and I'm going to grab just a little bit of baking powder. This is a 1/2 teaspoon, but I only got like a little pinch into it. It's a little bit more than 1/8 teaspoon, but not quite a whole fourth. So there's that. Now we can get that out of the way. And I'm sure that you may have guessed from all my hints to go and comment on the Cheese Friday video that we're doing a giveaway tonight. That giveaway is for Blueberry Keto Chow, which you might have seen on some of the other channels when they got their packages. Blueberry Keto Chow. They want you guys to try it because it's delicious, and we want to make sure that they're doing the right thing by keeping it in stock, which they are 1000%. Oh, and Carrie's making more jokes. They're hilarious. So, and Simply the Bestie is asking if I saw the loose tea brewer thing that she sent Shelly. I did. I was watching the replay. So the good news is that tonight I am feeling fantastic. And even though all day long I was lazy, but the past couple days, you guys, I don't know what it was, but I was super sick. And a couple of people that I work with from OhioCon were also sick, even though it's been a while. I was COVID negative, I was flu negative, I didn't have a lot of RSV symptoms, but I did have fever and chills last night. I knew my fever broke because the way it was cycling, and this morning I woke up feeling so much better, but still really tired. And then by about 4 o'clock this afternoon, I was like, ding, I feel great again. So, hey Cynthia A, welcome. And I'm glad that you like the recent cheese videos. I love cheese. So, we're going to give away this Keto Chow. I'm going to give two packages away of 3 servings of Keto Chow, of Blueberry Keto Chow. So, I'm going to give you a little bit of time. At the very top of this chat, I posted the link to the Cheese Friday video. Go and leave your comment there, and we'll draw in a little while. So, woohoo, blueberry pie. And that's why we're making blueberry pie waffles this evening. So, real simple. And I will just set this to the side. Know that I'm not going to be shipping out until like next Friday. That's just the way it is when I get out of the house. And Carrie says, too bad that he loves cheese, but cheese doesn't love him. Oh, and thank you for complimenting me on my videos. So, I've let this baking powder sit in the eggs. It kind of lets it activate just a little bit. Oh, and Jennifer's saying it's generous. Just, you know, it's not generous of me. It's generous of Keto Chow, who sent it to me with the specific goal of giving it away. But I also like to show that I use products that are on this channel. I do not give away on my YouTube channel anything that I would not use myself. So, and, you know, they don't pay me or anything like that, but they did send me the Keto Chow, my little tea on top. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a round of the water so that I can have some tea. Hey Phyllis, good to see you. And normally you would do multiple brews and use the little tiny ceremonial teacups that come with your Gaiwan tea brewer. But I'm using my clear cup because I like that we can see the tea. Oh, exchange student too. Oh, I don't worry about, yeah, the postage is fine. I mail a crap load of stuff, and so I often get rewards off my pirate ship and all kinds of deals there. So, but I do love these little cups. They're very cute. So, let's see. We just let this sit and steep for a few minutes, and then we'll pour it off. I will have my tea. You can actually go through this like 8 or 9 times. So, and Air Fryer Annie says she loves pirate ship. Oh, and OP says there's a version of the virus with a GI thing that was not picked up by 2 tests at home, but when people got tested at site, it came back positive. Yeah, no, I was definitely negative, and I didn't feel like, I didn't have like other symptoms like that, so, and the way it passed through, Also, no one else who had the same symptoms I did was positive at all. So I'm pretty sure we caught a virus. So these things happen. I will tell you, I did not enjoy it one bit. I hadn't been sick in a really long time. So Exchange Student 2 says the guava grapefruit was good as Jello jigglers. Oh yeah. Yeah, you know what? I don't know what they called them either, but yeah, you're right. The jellies were really great. So you don't need this to brew for a long time. I'm gonna just give it a little swish here. So let's see. But you can see now this second brew. Let me hold my cup up for you guys. You can see that it is way darker than the first brew. And so that's why you discard that first one. The first one has tart and tannins. This second brew, man alive, I wish there was smell-o-vision, because when you get in there, it is, I'm telling you, it's just amazing. Oh, Exchange Student 2 is asking me about reintroductions. If it was 3 days time that I gave it, and the answer is, for me, it was about 3 days. I knew right away when the shrimp got me, and then so when the shrimp got me, I waited longer and tried it again. So I made sure I repeated it. Then I backed it out, and I went back to BBBE for a few days, then started reintroducing again, and then tried the shrimp one more time. It's definitely a no-go. So I've got my 2 eggs and my little more than 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking powder. This is an optional ingredient. I've got me 3 tablespoons of heavy cream. You do not have to use heavy cream. You can use melted butter. You don't have to use melted butter. You can use avocado oil. You don't have to. The difference between adding fat into your waffle batter or not is texture in the end waffle. If you don't use the fat other than your eggs with your keto chow, they will still come out great, but they will not be as crispy waffly like. They'll be they'll be softer waffles with a little bit more of a papery sort of texture on the exterior. Still delicious and really handy, especially if you're like me and you're prone to slather with what most people would think was an excessive amount of butter. And Simply the Bestie is asking if I saw the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once. Just wow. Absolutely. I actually think it's one of the best movies of the year. No, I would not say rubbery. They don't come out rubbery to me, just very soft. A little papery. In other words, really, really thin and delicate, as opposed to crispy, crunchy. So I'm going to add that because I feel like that's a texture that we would enjoy on this channel. So I have to let my tea cool down a little bit or I'd be tasting it already. Gives us a good opportunity for the cooking. So 1 scoop of keto chow, and it's the blueberry. If you want, you can add a 1/2 teaspoon of blueberry extract if you are the kind of person who really enjoys that. Hey, Haley Ann Fam has just joined us, as has Susan B. Susan B, it's been 100 years, it feels like. So I went ahead and dumped my scoop in. Load it up for the next round. I'm not making a next round here, but all right. It does allow me to get a little more room on my counter. That is literally everything you need. Some people like to add sweetener to their waffle batter. I don't need it. So that is strictly up to you. It's extremely flexible. You almost can't go wrong. Just like the old days when you were using cake mix if you were using cake mix from the box. You can make all kinds of modifications and changes and it won't impact it. But I have seen a lot of people mention that their waffles didn't come out, or they didn't come out right, or they tried to use that pourable one, so they kept adding more and more liquids so they could go through the top and pour in. So I do think it's going to be important to show you the scoopability of the batter and how it should come out when you are making a keto chow waffle. But also to share with you how delicious the blueberry pie keto chow is. Hey, the warden, enjoying a nice cup of coffee. I already had my coffee. That's why we're having tea. And this is definitely a slurping tea. It has so many layers to the flavor. The aged and fermentation of the pu'er is really prominent in the Mandarin tea balls. So, let's see. Anyways, I'm just trying to give this a good mix. I will say, it reminds me of the chocolate mint, which gets like that gray kind of color. But trust me, it is really good. And Simply the Bestie says that's what she likes about the keto chow, is that it's not overly sweet. Me too. So Mike Sandy's asking about the rise factor of this blueberry mix. So it's not just so you know, Mike. It's a keto meal replacement shake mix. So I'm using an off-market use. So if you're not keto, I don't know that I would recommend these waffles. You probably have different options. But if you are keto, man, this is definitely the way to go because of all of the nutritional values of the meal replacement. So I have some more tea. Also, of course, tonight I get to out myself as the mini dash hoarder that I am, because this will make 6 mini waffles. So I've got 3 little waffle makers, the regular waffle maker, the honeycomb, and then the web. So we're just letting this sit for a minute. Now, if you make the batter a little bit more ahead of time and then let it sit, that's also really good. But I want to show you guys. So you can see, look at that. It'll drip, but it's going to take a long time. It's scoopable. It's almost like cookie batter in texture and weight. So if it is pourable, you've added too much liquid. Carrie says, I'm going so fast that I'm dashing away with all the waffle machines. Nice. Oh, Crafting Carnavish says she boxed a couple of orders today as well. So, here's 2 things. I was wondering, have you guys bought your Keto Palooza tickets? And if not, are you going to? Because it seems like it's a long ways away, but it's going to be here before you know it. Oh, Exchange Student 2 says caffeine keeps her awake. I've been drinking caffeine for so long, it does not have that impact on me anymore. And Airfry Nanny says she just finished a black cherry vanilla bang. And does, in fact, have her KPL ticket. Hey, happy Sunday, Susie. Good to see you. And Jackie's got tickets, too. So, I mean, these are just my 3 waffles. I also have 2 pizzelle makers, the bundt cake, the pie maker. I don't know, I've got a lot of stuff. And Simply the Bestie says the caffeine no longer phases them. Oh, Exchange Student 2 is not going because they are doing the cruise instead. That sounds like a Jerry Van West excuse, which where the heck has he been, right? Oh, Marianne has tickets and hotel all set. I have my hotel too, but I need to call and see if they can get me into a suite, at least a regular suite, if not my super fancy suite that I had last year. For those of you who went last year, was that suite off the chain or what? Oh, and Crafting Carnivore is not going to KPL because it's right in the middle of their busiest homecoming season time. But Susan B will. So, all right, I'm gonna start. You know, you kind of need to know your waffle makers. If you've got a big one, you'll need more batter. The dashes don't use a lot of batter at once. So you just throw it like a little blob in there, scoop it in there. This may be less batter than I was wanting. Use your judgment on it. Sometimes I overflow them, but you just throw the blob in there, it will spread. The honeycomb one takes the most batter out of the three. And they're making a nice little sizzle there. And Jackie says she has a Mickey mini waffle maker. Nice. And the spiderweb actually needs the least of the three. I might have used too little, but then they just take 3 minutes. So let me put a timer so that I don't forget, which, as you might recall, happens on this channel on occasion because we get to chatting. And Lisa's asking if I oil the dash, and that's a big fat nope. I do not. So let's see. Oh, and Cynthia can't do KPL today. Big birthday trip in June. Hoping to do some conferences in 2024. Nice. Makes a lot of sense. I put too much batter in the honeycomb. Ah, that's the one we'll eat then. But I don't know if you, well, you can't really tell on the camera, but the lids are lifting. The baking powder is doing its thing and rising. And Susie's seen the heart-shaped ones on another person's vlog. Yeah, I keep wanting to get a heart one, but I just haven't managed to do it yet. So, and Brenda says her mini dash finally gave up the ghost, so she's buying a new one. So she likes the waffle one the best, even though she has other shapes. I like the honeycomb one the best, and I think that eventually if I see it again and it's on sale, I will buy it. Oh, Air Fry Nanny, that was me. That's why I have 2 pizzelles now, and I love it because I love to make pizzelles. Actually using pretty much the same batter. I do thin it just a little more, but I think that if I cook them, they take a while to cook. I cook them like 6 or 7 minutes, and they get like into little crispy cookie treats, and I love that. Oh, just Jen Delaney has taken a nap, and what have you missed? I'll show you. Our giveaway tonight is 3 packs of the blueberry pie keto chow. So, and Jennifer is saying she'll get around to trying her stuffed lure eventually. That'll be nice. We've made a lot of stuffed waffles on this channel. Oh, and Hungry He says, if I keep it up with the gadgets, I'll be giving 2KK Joe a run for his money. You know, you're not wrong. Although I do not have that giant industrial sausage stuffer that he has. I just have my regular meat grinder. It's little. So, and I definitely don't have that Anova oven, even though I have huge envy over it. So, tremendous envy over that Anova oven. So much that I'm really thinking about saving up to get it. So, let's see. And Cynthia's asking if I use KC to make the pizzelles. I do. And actually, if you look through the Keto Chow website, they've got a recipe in there that for pizzelles, and so you can follow that actual directions as opposed to making it up and possibly ruining things like I do. So, let's see. And then here's the test to know if they're ready yet. If the lid comes open, it's ready, and I just pick it up and ta-da, a waffle. I'm throwing it in a bowl and letting it sit for a second, and a parchment, because I'm not eating all these waffles tonight. The spider web, so you can see. I love the way they smell. And I close the lids back down so that they can heat. And if it doesn't lift right off, it's not done. So you just close it up and give it another second. And Lisa's saying that we need to put together a cookbook. I know, but it's a lot of work. So now the important thing that must happen, my favorite part, my big old hunk of butter. You guys, sadness. It is cold butter season. It's on the counter, but it's still pretty solid. So now we gotta wait for it to melt on the heat of the waffle. Anyway, so we'll just let that sit. And I think, let's see if I can do this. Let's see if we can do this giveaway. So that's the first package, so we'll give it a few minutes, and then we'll go ahead and do another one. Oh, Simply the Bestie says it's quiet there too. Oh, whoops, I'm sorry. You know what happened is I switched to the other screen and I forgot to put the microphone on. You guys, I'm a dingbat. Oh, hey Roz, you are here. So you need to send an email to radicalgeek42@gmail.com and send me your shipping address so that you can get your keto chow. I'm glad that you can hear me now. I'll try to remember that for the next time. Oh, or maybe I'll just pick it and keep talking and just tell you guys. It's just the YouTube picker. It's not like it's exciting to watch. And Susie says, you thought the live froze for a second. Sorry, my bad. I wondered why it got weird. It was me. 100% it was me. So, all right, now that my butter is all melty, we'll take a bite because delightful. And who does not love waffle? Delightful. But I'm glad. No, it didn't freeze, and I was talking away over there too. Of course. But, you know, what kind of live stream is it if we don't do something silly once in a while and screw up? Yeah, the sound is good because I'm in the right live stream with the microphone turned on, and I didn't turn it on in the Pick a Winner screen. It's an OBS thing. You have to turn the microphones on individually. So anyways, I will not flick away to the screen, but let's go ahead. It says there's a, I don't know, now it's making me click things. I'm just gonna go ahead and do a reload here. Oh, did my post say something about a guest? Nope. Also, my pick a winner is being weird. Okay, there it is. No, I'm not having a guest tonight. It's a, I don't remember what I did say, but it was a hint that I was having the giveaway. I just, yeah, I don't have this microphone hooked up to the pick a winner. So, all right, I'm gonna click it though. It has, again, the 16 comments. Roz, you can't win twice. So, I don't know why it said guest. What was I thinking? It's because I was still sick and delirious. You know, also, I'm just kind of, you know, who knows? Let's see. But let's do it. Okay. Oh, it's Marion Roberts. Marion, you won again. Didn't you won something else last time to the last giveaway, didn't you? Awesome for you. So, Blueberry Keto Chow for Marion. So, Roz and Marion Roberts. Email radicalgeek42@gmail.com and give me your shipping addresses so that we can send you your keto chow. The other thing I was going to say, I'm going to go ahead and scoop batter in and finish this off. The other thing I was going to say is on February 25th, we are having a KetOH-IO meetup. I know, Miriam, the luck is with you right now. So, and Air Fry Nanny wants blueberry pancakes for dinner. That also sounds delicious. I know this is too much batter for the spider web, but I don't care. It can overflow. It's probably not the greatest when you say you're doing something wrong on purpose, but it is what it is. Boom. 3 minutes, and they will be done. You know what, guys? I like the handiness of having the timer up here. Oh, because it said surprise keto cook on the side. Oh, yes, the waffles is the surprise. I definitely overflowed over here. You catch it so it doesn't get on the counter. Squeeze it back in there. I don't know if that worked. So 6 pancakes from the recipe. If they're mini, sometimes I probably could have got 7. Instead, I chose to just make them too big. They might need 4 minutes, but that's all right. And all I'm doing is putting them in a bowl to eat for my breakfast tomorrow with some sausage. Other than that, so February 25th, I'm having a keto meetup here in Westerville, Ohio. If you haven't RSVP'd, same email that I just gave, radicalgeek42@gmail.com. Maybe Air Fry Auntie or Attila can type that in for you. radicalgeek42@gmail.com. But if you want to come to the meetup, you need to send me an email, if you haven't already, to let me know that you're coming. That way I can also send you back an email that gives you the address of the Buffalo Wild Wings that we're going to. Oh, how many? You know what? I don't know. I didn't count it up. It's not like jammed like we have been. It's lesser, which I think is probably because of winter. I'm all right with that. Which is fine because I also didn't do a massive swag. It's a little swag. So hopefully it'll be good though. And Carnivore Crisp representative said he would come, but I know he forgets, or because they get so inundated with orders, sometimes they can't actually make it out. I do have you on the list, Just Jen, but send me another email though, just in case. Oh, but you have the address, so that's fine. And Brenda is excited to meet some keto people. Sharon is asking if it's the BW3 by IKEA. I think. I'm not 100%. It's on Polaris Parkway, so I'm inclined to say that's the right one. It's next to, it's in the same lot as the Fresh Time, so it's Polaris Parkway, and like I think it's like Old Worthington Road or something like that. But it's you should have the address in your email, Sharon, and let me know if I need to resend it to you. Oh, and Exchange Student 2 says she's never tried Carnivore Crisp before. They're pretty good. I really do like the Carnivore Crisp. I just can't always buy Carnivore Crisp because they do. Oh, Jackie's Jinx Journey and Keto Simple are carpooling. One of you should send me an email so I can send you the address. So, is it by Trader Joe's? It's definitely not by Trader Joe's. The Trader Joe's is a different location. I tell you what, I will gather up in everybody's email again and send one with a little map cut out from Google. Oh, and Sharon says they were just there yesterday by Jimmy John's. Nice. Uh, so, all right. That one was done. So, like this one right now, there we go. Just lifts right off. Got my little parchments to keep it separate. And my last little spider web. Hot. Burnt my finger. There we go. So now I've got my bowl of waffles for the morning. Ta-da! Meal prep. Oh, and it says OP says 20 minutes. It poofs up, but it falls a lot when you take it out. Consistency is between pancake and custard. Ah, so these do get thin, but they stay the right texture. They don't get, and they're definitely not custardy at all. Oh, and that's oh, but the OP is talking about it for the Dutch oven sort. Okay. Mm. Let me close these up. I'm gonna unplug them so they can cool. And that way, after the live stream, I can put them back in their pockets. And Carrie says the waffles look good. Yeah, hey Carrie, since you can tolerate keto chow, you can have the waffles because you don't have to put a lot of stuff in them. Mm. And Air Fry Nanny says she loves that the blueberry is the color blurple. Oh, Jennifer says she has to get her alignment checked Tuesday before heading to Ohio because her front end is shaking going over 60 miles an hour. Oh yeah, you definitely want to get that checked out. You wouldn't want anything to happen on the road. That's the worst. Oh, Carrie says he has to get a waffle machine. Check thrift shops. They often have a lot of these little mini dashes. But they also sometimes get really good waffle makers, high-end ones, and sell them for like $2. And Simply the Bestie says she sees the mini waffle makers for $5 all the time. Yep. But definitely check your thrift stores for them. And if your church ever has markets, they show up in church sales a lot too. And Air Fry Annie says the same recipe makes a good pancake too. Really great. So, okay. So, oh, you're welcome, Carrie. It's a real boon to head in there. I like to buy a lot of stuff in there because you find really good bargains. Right now, I'm going through the thrift stores looking for old school board games because while I was at OhioCon this year, well, 2 years ago at OhioCon, when I was only running the library versus the tabletop gaming department, some of the OhioCon games came out of storage and water had gotten into the games and damaged them to the point that we really had to throw them away because there was mold. So we got rid of them. And I didn't really think that they would be missed that much. But let me tell you, we got a lot of people who are not the hardcore tabletop gamers like me, but who want to play regular family games. So they were asking for Monopoly and Sorry and Life, you know, all of those old classics. And of course, those are the ones that we had to get rid of. You know, our chess set had got ruined. So I got a donation for a good chess set, a tournament worthy chess set, but the old school, I'm pretty sure. No, I don't think so. Dyson is right here staring at me, hoping so hardcore that waffle falls on the floor. But it will not, because he's not supposed to be here. Oh, did you guys see him coming in through the door? Of course. No, it's Dyson. He must have come in here. I just saw him sitting here staring at me. Oh, Air Fry Nanny, no, they get so many of them at our thrift stores. They will come by. It's not. It was Dyson. Oh, I guess Balia. I guess there was a cat. I'm unobservant. I don't know where he went to. But now I hear toenails on the floor, so they're somewhere. Mm. So, okay, well, that's because he knows he's on that we're busy in here and not supposed to be walking through here. So Dyson's trying to be sneaky and he's going from side to side waiting for me to drop something. Like, they're not supposed to get people food, but they get people food periodically when stuff falls on the floor. We have Dyson and 3 cats. One of the cats is not an indoor cat. It only is inside a little bit and is like 95% outside. The other 2 are 100% inside. Oh, see, here comes the cat now too, like, hey, I see you're having waffles. But they're not getting nothing from me. You're not. So, but we love our animals. Oh, Susie says he snuck around the counter through the doorway. Yeah, well, Ballius is now making a little patrol back, so. But he heard me chastising, so now he's slinking away to the other room. What are you going to do? And Jackie says we just give our cats meat people foods. They love beef, and Salem loves raw beef. They do like the meat. They like, actually, they love when we have salmon in the house because I'll give them little bits of that. I won't give them raw chicken, but if I'm making chicken for Dyson, I will give chicken to the cats. They're supposed to eat meat. They're carnivores, so. But I don't share food from my plate, which is what I mean by people food. Food from my plate is my people food. Food is fine. People food from my plate is not fine. If that makes sense. I don't know if that's a clear distinction. Mike Sandy calls them pet Roombas. Exactly. I mean, he's called Dyson for a reason. So, but yeah, it's a small distinction. We might even eat the same chicken, but not from the same plates. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm at the dinner table, they're not gonna get nothing from my plate, and they should know it. Sometimes they ask, but I might make the same food and give them a little bit of it on a plate of their own, in their own food area. But admittedly, it falls on the ground, it's fair game. So, and the warden says, yeah, don't feed from their plate because you don't want them to associate it and start begging. Certain people in this household do give them foods from their plates, and so that's why they are beggy. It's just that they usually know not to beg from me. It's different because I'm in here chatting though, and I don't know why it's a different thing. And Jackie says they're trying to train their kitten that she can't come thieve off our plates. And they will learn that. They know. They learn boundaries. Despite what people say, cats are very trainable. But I will say, though, those are still some of my favorite TikToks. Is people who film their animals stealing food. It's hilarious. I love to watch it, but I would be so mad at my pets if they did such a thing. So, there's no counter surfing here. And I'll tell you, one time we were getting ready for a picnic, and I had a cooler sitting up close to the counter, and I walked away, and when I came back, Valius was actually just getting to the counter, and I said, really loud, I yelled, hey, what the hell are you doing? And I'm telling you, I wish I had been filming, because he literally touched his paws to the counter and then like turned and jumped back down like, oh, whoa, I almost got on the counter. My bad. I know that's a mistake. And I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. So I just moved the cooler I'm sure if he wanted to, he could climb up there, but I know he knows he's not supposed to, so it's just that there was difference, like a stair or something. So. Oh, and Jackie says that Sassy has come up, purred, and then rubbed against him like cuddly, and then snatched a piece of bacon and ran off. Uh-huh. That's how they are. Yeah, yep. It's funny, even though it's not funny at the time. But, so anyways. So that's what I had tonight, was the 2 giveaway of the Keto Chow. We talked a little bit about, you know, making sure that we're getting our tickets to Keto Palooza. And the last thing is KetOH-IO. So I'm super excited about it because just, you know, should not be chaotic because I will get there very early. But the restaurant didn't actually do reservations. I just have been like, fair warning. And he's like, just make sure you remind me week of. Call me on Monday, and then again on Wednesday, and then again on Friday. I was like, I can do that. So he'll make sure, and he said, if we get too many of us, it might be hard to fit us all in the one area. And I was like, no worries. So, but that is definitely why I said I'm capping it at 30. We're only at like 15 or 16. I'm not worried about it at all. By the time we're done with our RSVPs, we should be right around the 25 to 30 people mark. So I'm very pleased with that. I think it's just right. We can get, that way we can actually have conversations and talk. So Sharon, my max amount of people is 30. I will not go above 30 because I think that is really unfair to the restaurant workers. It's too much. If I had a place where I was booking like a whole room that had capacity, I would probably be fine with that. But at a restaurant where it's their regular staff and maybe they have to pull in like a couple other people to help, I'm not comfortable with making it bigger than that. Now, pre-pandemic, we did have a meetup, a big meetup, where we did like all the swag. Now, companies are not as swag generous as they were pre-pandemic. It's getting back to it because the economy is recovering a little bit and stuff, but what we did was actually that had to be a ticketed event because we had a private venue and we had caterers who came in and made a catered menu for us. So that was super cool. But that was a ticketed event where we had everybody buy a ticket for like $35. But let me tell you, it was amazing. They made like a big breakfast casserole, then they had chicken thighs, they made like some steak tips and cauli rice, and then they had a bunch of keto desserts. A couple people who had their cottage license came and sold some desserts for like $1 each. Hey girl dog, good evening. Good to see you. Oh no, don't start barking now. We're on a live stream. Dyson says hello. So, but the cat almost spilled water on the other side of the room, so he's got to make sure that stuff stays in line. So, but we had all of that. The other thing is that was my first time that I was introduced to skinny syrups because a representative brought some in along with some champagne. I know, but let me tell you, I drank some champagne with skinny syrup like a little Bellini. Delightful. So, let's see. Oh, and Jackie's deciding whether to have wings or not during the meetup. I'm not a faster for events. It really sucks. So, you are strong if you fast through it. But oh, Grill Dog is saying he thought it was at 5:30 p.m. Mountain. I don't know. It's 6:30 p.m. Eastern, so it started just about an hour, just under an hour ago. I think it's 5:30 p.m. Central. No, you leave the cat alone. So, let's see. But, and if you're not, I have to look at their menu because I'm not sure of everything they have. But if you're not doing wings, I don't know. Let me look at their menu and see what else they have. So. Oh, and Simply the Bestie says she's been keeping away from chicken, found it was making her inflamed and sore. But no, she'll cave for wings at some point though. I am so lucky that chicken does not bother me in the least. In fact, usually when I eat wings, if I have them with dry rub seasoning, I usually find that the next day I lose a pound or two. I think it's because they're really high fat. And then I'm adding a bunch of salt on top of it. Carrie says the thing that fills him up is pork belly. I want pork belly to fill me up because it's so fatty, but I can eat enormous quantities of pork belly. Yeah, so the burgers is what I was thinking. I was like, we can always order a burger. Oh, you won't order burgers from there. I didn't know that. I haven't looked at their burgers ever because I always just get wings. And I told people if they want salads, they should order them of their own accord because I didn't want to order a salad with the big order of sample wings because I didn't want to bring salad home. Yeah, not a surprise. They're very curious as to what's going on in here. So, and let's see. But yeah, Girl Dog, made chicken breast on the Rectech today. Sounds great. I love smoked chicken. Actually, I love pretty much everything smoked. Oh, and Simply says she loves wings, but was eating a lot of chicken at one point because it was so easy to prep. Angry spice wings again for sure. Oh yes, definitely. I think right now I don't have angry spice. I have special spice, but seems a little bit spicier than the angry spice, and I dig it. Jennifer says she's good with burgers anywhere. So, I mean, that's also an option. I will be buying a fair amount of wings to share, but people do need to supplement it a little bit with their own. And Exchange Student 2 says the burgers aren't that great, but their brisket at Buffalo Wild Wings is good. That's interesting. I've never actually paid any attention to anything else because the only reason I go there is for wings. Oh, the warden says this. The Cooper's Inferno. Yep, that's the one. Anyway, this waffle has not lasted very long. They're very tasty. So. Oh, and Just Jen says she's never had BW3 wings. You've never been to Buffalo Wild Wings? Wow. I don't like chicken breast. There's not enough fat on it, so I prefer, if I'm gonna get chicken breast and suffer through it, I'm having the kind that has the skin and the bone. But that's because I'm a high-fat keto eater. I know that people who do not follow ketogenic diets, then boneless, skinless chicken breast are very good protein. So, and Grill Dog agrees. Chicken wings with Hungry Heat's Texas 5 Spice is yummy. It certainly is. Ooh. If someone going to the meetup reminds me the day before, I can bring the Texas 5 Spice. I'll bring the regular. I will only bring the Inferno if it's popular request. So, because I want to be sensitive to people who are not like spice crazy, and I think the Inferno can get in the air and bother people. I love it, but it does burn me, and I know if it's burning me that it hurts other people. I love it because it gives me that whole I had Botox today look. So, let's see. Oh, and Sharon says she usually asks for the extra crispy wings at BW3 because they have good crunch. Nice. Let's see. Oh, Hungry Heath. Oh, your friend hates chicken, but you wanted to go to BW3's anyway. Oh, well, I mean, they have other options, so, you know, they can get other stuff. Brenda says she only cooks wings or thighs because the breasts are too dry. Now, I will occasionally get the breast, but here's the thing. I don't have them just, you know, just chicken breast. I'll mix it into like a buffalo dip. It's good for that. Or if I am making roulades, in which case I'm adding a bunch of fat to it that helps keep them keeps them from drying out, and or also covering with a sauce. Like Hungry Heath has that Instapot queso that starts with the butter and has the rotel in it. If you put your chicken in underneath that queso sauce, definitely, then it's good, and that helps it a lot. Oh, you're going to the Salt Lake City for the KetOH-IO. Wow, I am super jealous. I was doing my calendar, and man, I didn't leave myself room to do much. I've got KPL on there, but everything else is gaming. So I have to fit in. Let's see. I've got what's coming up. I've got a Buckeye Game Fest. Oh, Grill Dog says they're cross-contaminated with gluten products at BW3. Oh, you have to be completely clear for Patty's health. You know, I have to admit, that's a high risk because I also have celiac. So we don't have Buffalo Wild Wings very often, but when I do, I know that I may or may not have issues the next couple days. So, yeah. It is a risk, so if you have celiac, know that it can make you ill for a few days. So I take that risk. So it's definitely probably, you know, is it my best choice? No, but you know, it is what it is. So and Simply the Bestie says she loves how I say queso, and I don't know what's weird about how I'm saying it. So okay. Yep. So anyways, I think that's everything. I'm excited for the meetup. Like I said, it's lighter on swag than last time, but I think most of us don't really care about the swag because we pretty much buy most of it already anyways. But do know that it's not zero swag. I have a couple little things for everybody, so that's good. Brenda says she has celiac too and has never had an issue with BW3. I have had issues occasionally where it bothers me for a couple days, but I feel better then, and I let it, I take it, so. Yeah, Kessel. So, okay. Let's see. And sauce on the side. Yep, I pretty much don't, I try not to get them sauced. I usually order them plain, which at the meetup, the ones for sharing will be plain with sauces and seasonings on the side. So. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's probably, I don't know. At any rate, it is 7:30. I hope that you liked having blueberry pie waffles and that you indulge. So, and congratulations, Roz and Marion. Send me those emails so I can mail them out. It'll probably be late on Friday when I drop them at the mailbox. And Carrie is leaving us with one last joke, saying if I order them plain, they will really fly. So. And Air Frying Annie says she wishes she wasn't full. She wants pancakes. All right, I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna finish the last little bit of my tea. Delightful. And Grill Dog, sorry you missed most of tonight. Yeah, that's okay. We've got next Sunday, and it'll still be awesome. I might have something up my sleeve for next Sunday too, but I don't want to promise yet. Kind of depends on the mail. So I will see you guys later. You have a great one. Good night. Bye-bye. Bye, Cynthia. Good to see you. I hope that you come back next week. See the rest of you at KetOH-IO. Bye-bye for reals.